Hello, beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, star channeler, transformational mentor, and sacred guide. Happy Gemini New Moon. Happy levity. Happy lightness. Happy laughter. Woo! This is the breakthrough energy that we are ready for. We have been moving in and out of what I'm calling the void for almost a month now, since the category G5 geomagnetic storm that happened May 10th to the 12th, which PS, I got to dance with the Northern Lights again from my property. This is the clarity that's coming through in the light that's now arriving on the planet and in ourselves. We've got to integrate it. We've got to clear and alchemize. So if you've been feeling off, discomfort, lost, confused, frustrated, well, the frustration is the Mars and Aries conjunct Chiron. But if you've just been feeling like you've been in this void, there's a reason. The light is pouring in to create the clarity and the ascension in the energy before it becomes conscious, before it becomes physical to what we've known as the world around us. And we are starting to become more masterful at this new earth soul flow, which is standing proudly and confidently in the surrender, in the rest and receiving and trusting that the aligned action and the courage is going to show up from there, because it's going to catapult us to our next level, to our next octave. So the universe is like tapping on our soul with these voids at an opportunity to practice doing it a new way, because we have to embody it. If we think about it, if we theorize it, if we, hear it, but don't actualize it, then it's just floating there in the ethers. And it might be creating more stress or resistance for us, because then we start judging ourselves or feeling like failures. So you've got to, at some point, step off the precipice and do it and see what comes from there, right? This Gemini energy is all about the teacher and student. And that is the masterful place to be in all of life. No matter your age, no matter your accolades, no matter your degrees, when you can truly be in the curiosity of the student and the mastery of the master, then you're combining it all to always be available for more, to seek, to gain knowledge, to pivot, to adapt, to become resilient and resourceful. So the Gemini New Moon happens on June 6th, 2024 at 8:38 a.m. Eastern Time. It happens at 16 degrees of Gemini. And on a new moon, that's always when the sun and moon are conjunct. So they're at 16 degrees along with Venus, which is the heart activator of this energy. This new moon has so many positive aspects that it's absolutely going to help us fly. Gemini is air, right? We're going to be soaring through the air. We're going to be finding our wings when we do the mind in a new way. Pluto's coming in to help us move through the death and rebirth of the old habits of the mind, of the overactive mind, the over analytical mind, the overthinking mind, the over controlling mind, because that is not our experience anymore. That's not the abundance. That's not the ascension. We know this. We've been hearing this, but we have to believe it deep in ourselves. So these voids have been coming through for an opportunity to practice. The universe has been tapping on your soul. How have you been answering? How have you been responding? That's what I really want you to explore right now as we move towards the peak of this new moon. I'm recording this on June 4th. And today, Venus is Cazimi, which means Venus is in the heart of the sun, completely illuminated and shining in this energy. And this is the energy of the heart leading and the mind creating from there. Because we need our minds to take the download, the hit, the transmission, and put it to form, right? We need our bodies and the momentum of inspired action and courage to go forward, but we need our minds to figure it out from unconscious to conscious. So this is a really beautiful energy that's starting to basically like light up within us. And it's interesting because yesterday I wasn't even thinking about it. And I suddenly just called this place that I had been wanting to get a massage from for a long time. And I got the message yesterday, like, get a massage. And I just did it. Like, I didn't have a story around it. I didn't figure out if I was able to do it now or anything. I was just like, this is it. And then I was like, oh, it's the Venus Cazimi. This is our gateway and the portal through pleasure. This is our sensual being, and really honoring that and holding it as sacred and really caring for this temple, for our hearts, for our love, our relationships. So this Venus activation is going to be so big in the divine feminine as well, right? Venus is all about receiving. It's about loving and caring, but it's also about giving. So, where are your values right now after the whole reorganization that you've been going through in these voids? Where have you landed in your values? Because I know that I was brought back into some old habits and patterns, especially with the Mars conjunct Chiron, that really showed me some gaps in where I want to be on a consistent basis, not just when I'm going into my alignment practice, but all the time in all of my relationships and all of my interactions, no matter how others are interacting with me, however unconsciously they might be, however fearful they might be, if they're plugging into the matrix and really allowing that to dominate their lives. I want to be solid. I want to be strong. I want to be resourced deeply and come out from there. So Venus is going to really offer an opportunity to like dive in, feel good, and let that lead you in a new way. So the Gemini energies are all about playfulness, inspiration. Gemini is air, it's ruled by Mercury, so it is about the mind. It's mutable, so it's very adaptable and flexible. It's also about duality. This is the highest frequency of unity consciousness. When we realize that this life is about duality, and how do we find balance in it? How do we actually create from all and find innovative new ways to be in both energies in only the way that we can do it? It's about socialization. It's about telling your stories, about talking, communicating. It's about inspiration and connection. But you've got to watch being in scattered energy because it has so many things going on all at once that we can really go into that multitasking, which actually leaves us more overwhelmed and never completely satisfied or present. So be extra intentional at taking one task and giving it your all, giving it all of your energy, and then feeling complete there where you can move on and you become an ally with time instead of a victim of time. And the other big transit that has went down recently is Jupiter has ingressed into Gemini. So Jupiter's in a sign for about a year. And that means it's a 12-year cycle. So think back to 12 years ago. What happened in your life? What showed up and what shifted? For me, everything changed. Everything. I've never really shared my full comeback story, or another way to put it is my full human awakening. And on this channel, I've had somebody ask before for that on the podcast. And I feel like this might be the time in these Gemini energies. It feels like a time to really bring you in and let you know what's possible for you. Because this is not a story of victimhood. This is not a story of sadness. This is not even a story of empathy. This is a story of evolution. It's a story of liberation. It's a story of possibility and perseverance. So 12 years ago, when I was at my rock bottom, my chosen rock bottom, this was 6 years after my daughter was stillborn, 6 years after my health tanked, 3 years after my next miscarriage, and 3 years after my marriage crumbled. I had given up on life. My dreams were lost, and I was lost, and I was planning to live that way. And that's exactly the energy that I magnetized into my life. I brought a man in that was full of gaslighting, full of abandonment, full of torture and pain. that was an alcoholic, and he magnetized me in that energy like a moth to a flame. I dove in, and I was a complete alcoholic that year. I was a complete wreck. I had terrible experiences, and I only continued to gather evidence for how bad life was. And after I hit the full rock bottom, and when I finally started to bounce back up, when I left that situation for good, and I started to regain the North Star of who I really was at my core and what I was capable of, that's when I made the first move and I started traveling internationally intentionally. Right after my first travel with a friend, I went on my own, and I went for an extended amount of time. And I did the things that I thought were only for other people. And I actually started to have dreams in my life when I had given up on the biggest dreams that I ever had. And I started to heal through experience. I really dropped into the ultimate of the Gemini Sagittarius axis, which is the teacher and the student. And I started seeking through embodying. I started being social, and I gained new friends and networks, and I started leading my life before I was ready. And to be honest with you, when I was scared shitless, I still did it because every time I moved to another octave, every time my life started to get better, it started to expand, it started to open. And that next relationship that I had was a high vibing, high frequency relationship, because that's what I started to magnetize as I began to find a higher vibration. And even though that relationship didn't work out, we're still friends because we went through the normal evolution that's meant to happen. We went through the reflection and learning that we brought to each other's lives for the amount of time that we were supposed to be there. It was the healthiest thing that I had ever done in a relationship so far. And so this has been 12 years of continuing to build in that energy. So when I thought back to my last 12 years when Jupiter was in Gemini, I was like, let's go. This is significant, especially in my life, but I believe this is significant in your life. I believe it's significant in all of our lives because, y'all, by the time we get to Chiron in Gemini, we are going to be thought manifestation. Those of us that are moving to the new earth, those of us that are moving into our multidimensional reality, that's the benefit, that's the miracle, that's the gift. And these energies now are leading us there. We're going to have Saturn go through Gemini before Chiron gets to Gemini. Like everything is always leading to something else, just like our lives is always an unfolding. So if you're waiting for something to happen in order for you to take that step, to join the group, to invest in yourself, to have the amount of time that seems like it's available in your life to do the thing that catapults you back into your greatest magnificence, you're going to keep waiting and you're going to keep wasting this time and this precious life. This is your signal. Use the Jupiter and Gemini energy to say yes to doing the things that scare you, because this is going to connect you and it's going to inspire you in absolutely beautiful ways. And it's going to give you a lighter energy. We're moving beyond the heavy, dense scarcity energy that we moved through with Jupiter and Taurus. So don't let it take you to this place of me versus you. I'm right, you're wrong. Grass is greener on the other side. Stay in the vibe of rising above, seeing it all, finding the unity consciousness, and creating from there. So I hope that that little story that I shared with you is super helpful and very hopeful for where we're going after all the light that's continued to pour on the planet. And this is where you've got to be super mindful of how are you showing up? Because if you're staying in those states that I just shared with you that I was in 12 years ago, oh, it is going to hurt. Your cells want to vibrate higher. They are begging you to vibrate higher. And every time you get that hangover, every time you get that pain, every time you get that symptom of anxiety or resistance and constriction in your life, something wants to shift, something wants to come through. Are you available to say yes to it and find the courage and the bravery to take the action? So that's a little bit about what's going down right now in the general energies with this new moon and what I'm tapping into in the collective through my intuitive channel. So what we do in these videos begins with that. And now I'm going to move into the astrology chart and actually point out the aspects that I'm talking about. So if you want to read an astrology chart, this is a great segment for you to really pay attention and be present for. And then after that, I typically do a card read where the guides come in and they share messages of what energies to be looking out for in our lives and how to navigate them and move in new ways. But today I'm going to do something a little different. Because of this Venus activation with Mercury in the mind, with Pluto, which means doing it in a new way, death and rebirth, I want to do an activation and really drop some codes in our heart mind connection to clear the old and make room for the new. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am so excited that you found us. What a great day to really drop in to see what comes through in this activation in this channel. Like I said, my name is Lori Rising of the rawandwildhearts.com. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you are receiving support in these messages, like the video, share it with one person in your community, or go big and share it on your socials and tag me. Let's make this a collaborative effort, because the more we get these vibrations out into the collective, the more people that basically calibrate themselves to what's already in their field and waiting for them. They might just have that quick aha, that quick enlightenment or epiphany that came with one thing that I shared, because this is the world we want to live in, right? This is why I continue to show up and share this free content, because I want it to spread like wildfire, because I want to live in the thought manifestation. Thought manifestation, that's magic. And we're doing the work on the ground, right? In the energy to be able to get ourselves to that level and hold it. Hold it as a collective. Because when we hold it as a collective, it becomes the energetic environment, and it becomes easier for those that are still unconscious to tap in and not even know why. Not even know why they're shifting, not even know why they're having this sudden revelation in their life and this sudden desire to change everything on its head. That's why, because we are creating in the energy all the time. How are we showing up at these very pivotal moments? Because y'all, we're moving to Pluto back in Capricorn for the last time. And that's going to change everything that we know about the matrix, because the matrix is run on linear systems of top down and power over. And this is going to be the final punch of Pluto in that kind of system that does not work anymore as we move towards the age of Aquarius, which is innovation, sovereignty, humanity, the best and highest for the collective, and coming together in that frequency from a place of love, from wisdom, and from galactic activation. So, are you ready? This is why I was divinely guided to begin the next Octave Mastermind this week. It begins on the Gemini New Moon. I never look forward at the astrology. I trust my guidance system. And even if my conscious world is busy, but I get the hit and the inspiration, I find the courage and I take the action immediately and I create it, because I trust. I trust why it's coming in at that time, and I show up for it. And I know that that's just going to be how it unfolds. So this is going to help us in the deepest space of support, finding those inner resources, clearing the old and the density, and calibrating to the highest self, to the higher dimensional realms, and allowing that to become our normalized physical experience. And this happens in a soul family, in a circle that comes together. I do not let you bypass. I nip all of these struggles and these stresses and resistance that you normalize in your life in the bud, real time as they happen. And we ascend as a community, as a circle and a group. And this is going to be the ultimate support system that helps you get deeply in alignment in your power, your purpose, your passion, your mission here. So when the matrix crumbles from this last Pluto in Capricorn, you soar, you get better, you get bigger, you get more abundant. That is the vibe. That's what's going down. I'm leaving doors open because I know that there are several of you that are called to come in the circle. And I have to trust that either you're going to grab it and you're going to declare it for this investment in how good your life can go and how deeply you can get into your alignment and soul medicine. Or you may use your free will to continue to run stories about it and how it's not the right time, how you don't have the money, how it's fearful, how everything might go away. And that's the vibe and that's the energy. And that's okay. Things will come back around for you. You just have to decide when you're done with the old stuff that's not serving you, that has been conditioned into you to keep you a worker and to keep you a follower, to keep you away from the creator that you are and the leader that you are. That's what we're working on in this next Octave Mastermind. It's a 4-month journey. I've got an option for my most intimate retreat, which is coming up in August. There's 2 spaces left for the retreat. You can add that onto the mastermind or you can come to the retreat on your own. You're going to get a personalized channeling at this retreat. Every part of this retreat is so wildly intentional, and you're going to get to have your own accommodations. I have decided to keep this very small. And if you wait for an opportunity like this to come around again, if you've been in my world for a while and you keep feeling like maybe this time, and you keep waiting, it's not going to be this intimate and it's not going to be this price point. I want to give you that heads up right now. And I want that to go into your heart. That's not for scarcity. That's for knowledge. That's for empowerment. Because then when you come back around and you are ready to declare, be empowered in that, because you can let yourself stand in the strength and the truth that I knew that it was going to be this price. And also I declare it because this is the time. This is when I grab it. This is when I co-create and say yes. If you feel like this is for you, send me a message, hit me up in the DMs on social media, email me at lori@therawandwildhearts.com. Get on a free discovery call on the link below. Let's drop in. Let's explore. This is a divine opportunity of exponential potential. And if you want to know a little bit about what it's like to work with me in a more intimate setting, I just released the Lead Your Life event for free. The replay is free. This needs to go out far and wide. Show up for yourself, invest for 7 days, and see what happens on the other side. See how your life actually shifts and transforms. And then you're going to be like, I'm ready to go bigger. You'll know from that space. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's get into this chart. Okay, so we can see right here that the sun and moon are conjunct in Gemini, and here we've got Venus. This, let me give it a little heart because it's so yum. It's so good. Let yourself be super open to new connections and inspirations and ideas that breeze through your life. Let yourself follow them. Let yourself flow with them because they're going to lead you somewhere new. And like I said, I feel like one of the biggest activators of this conjunction is letting our heart lead, and then our mind creates from there, and trusting that we are the divine innovators, the pioneers and mavericks. And in the words of Marie Forleo, everything is figure outable. That's what I began to understand 12 years ago with Jupiter and Gemini, that I could do anything. I didn't have to hold it outside of myself anymore. I had the power within me. And a super easy way to access this is to move through your pleasure. Prioritize pleasure during this time and let it be fun. Let it be light. Let it be a new energy that you haven't ever experimented with before, because that's going to be a portal and access point to so much more inspiration, so many more ideas, and so many new thoughts that take you in easier directions in your life to your highest timeline and the goal that you've been holding. But let it be the unfolding, the learning, the seeking, the mastering in the unfolding. Okay. And then also here we see in Gemini is the conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter, which are actually trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And I have been hinting at this through the video. This is the death and rebirth, the death of how we've done it in our mind before. Mercury is the mind. Mercury rules Gemini, and the new moon is in Gemini. So Jupiter expands anything that it touches, the energy that it touches. And Pluto with a trine is very harmonious. So Pluto is like giving you an ease at blowing up the way that it was before because it's creating the discomfort for your aid, for your invitation. You are the one that has to find your heart to realize that it's a body consciousness message and guidance system that says, surrender, receive, get still, be present. The messages are here. I've got you. I'm supporting you. I'm loving you. Let yourself be in that space. Let yourself be held. Let your heart be cracked open in the most beautiful of ways, because then Pluto in Aquarius is going to come in and offer you freedom in that energy, in that space, in that sacred yes, offer you liberation. And it wants you to go higher and wiser in the best technology that there is, which is us, our bodies, and this experience. So, in a simple conclusion of all of this yum, I would say drop into your heart, receive the guidance through the moon, illuminate that with the sun, allow your mind to create from what comes there, and then rebirth yourself in your best, brightest, and boldest new earth soul flow. Because y'all, in the voids that we just went through, so many of you have been turned on with the light that was really able to land inside your cells and experience. Your telepathy is turning on, your dreams are leading you in new ways, your psychic connection is activated, you're getting the evidence for how freaking powerful, miraculous, and magical you are. And all of this is only going to accelerate that when you embody it. And so the last thing I do want to point out, which is what I've already talked about, is Chiron right here is still conjunct with Mars and Aries, but they are separating. They're going away from each other. So you're going to feel less reactive, and it's going to move deeper into that Mars and Aries energy of confidence, of being the maverick, of doing it before anybody else does, of independence, and accessing the most powerful masculine energy, which is courage and passion, and throwing that behind all of the inspirations and ideas that are downloads coming through for you, not the ones that are forced from all of the time and the investment that you've put in and where you think it has to go. You have to really, really stand in the sacred yes of what your heart is saying. And you're gonna have to override the mind that keeps trying to pull you out of that and dismiss it, because that's what it's always been used to. Okay, y'all, how are you feeling? I know I have taken you on a big journey here, and let's just all take a nice collective breath together. Breathe it out. Beautiful. Feel yourself arrive. Start to soften in. Notice relaxation taking over the body. Find a comfortable space. Close your eyes and just start following your breath in and out. This is where we are going to clear a lot of that density from the mind and create a beautiful space in it to receive from the heart, instead of the way that we've been driven to control from the mind and bypass the heart. So breathe in and breathe out. Feel your jaw relaxing, your shoulders relax. Your body is just softening down, and you're feeling held in gravity. You're feeling supported. You're feeling nourished with your presence and your intention in this space. And as you continue to move with the breath, you're being transported deeper and deeper into your sacred wisdom. You're finding softness now. You begin to listen to the sounds around you. Maybe you hear bird song. You're letting the frequency of the music move through your cells, move through your body. And you're letting yourself just be. Allowing your mind to relax without force, without need, just slowly moving into deeper states of relaxation. And you feel firmly rooted into the ground. You feel a root from your sacrum and tailbone moving down deeply into the ground, easily down to the middle of the earth. And it's connecting in, all the slack is leaving. And this root is a luminescent, beautiful glow. It's a gold, it's shimmering. And you feel so secure. You feel so safe. And now you feel that gold light coming from the core of the earth, coming up, up, up through the root. And you feel it pouring into your spine, moving in, activating your first chakra, your second. And as this light moves through every chakra, it spins and turns each one on into beautiful vortexes that are breathing all around you, within you, through you, from you. And from the second, it moves to the third. And from the third, it moves to the fourth. And in the fourth, it grows bigger. It engulfs your whole heart space, creating a warmth throughout your chest. As this spiral spins, cleanses and clears, there may be another color that's beginning to appear now within this entire golden shower that continues to spiral and vortex and move and breathe. Moving up to your throat chakra now, spinning, activating, awakening, cleansing and clearing. Remembering your voice is so unique, it's so needed, and your experience of transformation, of growth, of curiosity and mastery is your medicine. It is your gift. And now that light moves up to your third eye, and you feel it bursting through your whole third eye and your pineal gland. The sacred waters come to life. And it easily flows up through your crown now, and flowing through your crown, connecting in to your higher guidance, moving up, 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 all the way into the higher realms, easily floating up. And as you activate your higher guidance system with this light, you feel connected deeply. You feel yourself soften and relax even more as the ground holds you and supports you, and the light magnetizes you and draws you up, and your body floats in this beautiful space of all realms, of all knowingness. Of sacred flow. And from here, this golden light extends and activates these little beautiful fiery balls of light, beginning at the top of your head above your crown. Now, and easily this glowing light is vibrating, and you feel a warmth between your crown chakra and it. And another ball activates above your right shoulder now. Spinning, strengthening, lending to the next ball of light that activates above your left shoulder now. Spinning, glowing, dancing. And as these balls of light continue to strengthen, a gorgeous line of light begins to take form between every one of them. And in this space of beautiful, infinite, eternal light and connection, you notice a breeze come through. You feel it on your skin. It moves your hair. It arrives deeply through your mind, easily clearing and softly flowing through your mind. And any thoughts, worries, or stresses that may have been running have been picked up with this breeze and moved beyond. As clarity and space arrive, and the breeze continues to move through and out, as you continue to vibrate higher than you've known, as the light holds a deep, unwavering connection with your guidance and a strong, firm foundation with Gaia. And you feel this beautiful triangle of light grow stronger, get brighter. And it offers with it very deep activations and spaces of doing this new and disrupting the old. And as your mind continues to feel cleansed and cleared and activated in this space, it becomes ready for the new codes, the new downloads, the new initiation of surrender to create. A new beautiful ball of fiery light becomes activated in your heart space now. Immediately, the light within your heart pours up into your mind, pouring like a golden, intentional, deliberate river of sacred flow, always initiating at the heart, landing in the mind, creating from there back down to the shoulders and into the heart, always initiating at the heart, landing in the mind, creating from there back down to the shoulders and into the heart. Feel this flow, feel this power. This feels right. This feels aligned. This feels prosperous. This is the ease of co-creation, the thriving states of guidance, the deliberate decision to let your mind follow in power. Breathe this in. Sigh it down. Breathe this in. Sigh it down. Breathe this in. Sigh it down. As this beautiful grid of your own personal sacred geometry comes deep down, activated and initiated in your heart, it flows through you with every beat. Beat by beat, by beat by beat. You have the power in any moment to expand and reactivate this grid, to remember this flow, and to embody it in your life. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the energy moving through your body. Feel the air on your skin. Be in this moment, new mind, leading heart, and loving life. Beautiful. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. How do you feel? Are you still sparkling in the gold in the activation? I'm getting now a remembrance of Egypt, a remembrance of the pyramids. An Atlantean energy is arriving. It's your queen, it's your king, it's your them. It's your knowing that you can choose new, do new, and be new in any moment at any time. And I hope that this personal grid that we have now activated for you is the defining moment in where you go from here, in the steps that you take, in the way that you lead your life, in how you show up for your magnificence, your brilliance, and your innate medicine. We need you. This is our time. We rise together. I love you so much. Please let me know in the comments below all about this activation and how it arrived for you and what you are now burning bright within your belly, in your fire, and in your light. And until next time, y'all, don't forget to keep looking up.